So Xbox is starting to make some good moves finally after a rough couple weeks of bad press and bad PR with all the layoffs and studio closures that were happening. It seemed like they're back on the upswing again after going on the downswing from their big upswing from the Xbox showcase. And the reason because of that is because they recently announced backwards compatibility with PC/emulation. Because quite honestly, you can't really call it backwards compatibility on PC if it wasn't there, but nonetheless, this is a really cool emulation layer that Xbox has been able to create through their Xbox app, and you can now play, currently as it stands, 4 games on this Xbox backwards compatibility program on PC, and that is Blinks the Time Sweeper, Conquer Live and Reloaded, Crimson Skies, and Fusion Frenzy. And they can all be played directly on the Xbox PC app if you have Game Pass. I'm not sure if you can buy the games quite honestly yet, but obviously you can download them now if you have Game Pass. You can go check them out. The games aren't natively ran. They're not PC ports or anything like that. It's not like an Xbox Play Anywhere type thing. This is the original Xbox game being played on PC. So that's why I was saying it's not really a backwards compatibility, it's more so a emulation that is going on. And one of the cool things about this emulation is it's not even just an original Xbox emulator. It's actually the 360 emulator, and they're using the original Xbox emulation from the 360 to emulate these OG Xbox games. So it's kind of like an emulator within an emulator, which is pretty cool, quite honestly. It makes a ton of sense if you think about what this could mean for the future of backwards compatibility for Xbox on PC, which obviously that means they're not just thinking about original Xbox, they're also thinking about Xbox 360 catalog. So I do think over the course of the next couple months, they're going to be sprinkling out more and more games until eventually, I imagine, to whenever Project Helix decides to come out, whether that's early 2028 or late 2028, early 2027, whatever it may be, that they're probably just going to dump all the games that they've had, because there's already been basically people out there that have been able to take the emulator code and input their own Xbox ROMs into them and been able to play them. They come with some issues and some things they need to be addressed, but nonetheless, this is super cool because now we'll finally be able to play Xbox 360 games in a very good, reliable way on Windows. So that's pretty sick. Like I said, it's just 4 games to start off for right now, but obviously we know that's going to lead to more coming down the road. And I hope it doesn't just mean that we're just going to get the existing library that is backwards compatible with the Series X and Xbox One, but I hope it also means too that we can play more. They're going to release more backwards compatibility titles. I think right now the original Xbox has about 62 games that are capable of being played on the Series X. I hope they can push that into like a couple hundred, the same way the 360 is, where I think about 600 360 games are backwards compatible with the current gen Xboxes. So, and I also wonder what this could mean for Xbox One games or Xbox Series X games, Series S games that aren't on PC. Like, will you be able to play the Xbox version of those games on PC? And you know, the funny thing, and I was thinking about this, is what could that mean for GTA 6? Like, would you be able to play the Xbox version of GTA 6, Xbox Series X version, and play it on a PC through this Xbox emulation whenever Project Helix decides to come out? But obviously by the time that happens, I think they've already talked about how the GTA 6 PC port is already going to be out probably by that time. I think they're saying they're delaying it about a year or two. So, and the Xbox Series or Project Helix seems to be coming out in the next year or two. Like I said, it seems like all accounts is pointing to late 2027, potentially late 2028 at the maximum latest. But yeah, I think nonetheless, this is pretty cool, and I'm really excited to see what this can mean. Like I said, I'm super pumped that they're not just allowing you to play it, they're giving you the ability to upscale it as well, which is pretty cool. From what I've seen, and I haven't necessarily experienced it with myself yet, because I'm planning on doing that today, is that you can upscale it to higher resolutions. From what I understand, it's not necessarily the best compared to like what's out there in the open source market, but I'm going to test that out and see how that works out. But I'm still nonetheless, it's pretty cool that they're even allowing you to be able to do that, and they actually give you some options to make some advanced setting changes before actually loading into the game, which is pretty cool. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility of how you want to be able to run these games, especially if you're going to be running these on handheld. You can not just run them at 1080p or 4K, or 1440, you can run them at its original resolution. So that's pretty cool they're allowing people to be able to do that. So I'm really excited to kind of test this out and see how that works. But yeah, nonetheless, I think this is a big win for Xbox, and I'm really excited to see what this can mean for the future of the platform on PC. We'll get into our second news story here, and that is a free cloud gaming on Xbox. But there's a catch. You gotta watch an ad before you're able to do it. So basically, Xbox launched this brand new test for Xbox insiders that allow people to play games that they already own for free through Xbox Game Cloud infrastructure without the need of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. This is pretty cool. I think I enjoyed this a lot. So obviously we know about a year or two ago, they announced the ability that you'll be able to stream your own games that you own if you have a Game Pass subscription. And I actually take advantage of that myself. Not only do I just play games that are a part of my Game Pass Ultimate subscription, but I also play games that I just flat out own. One of them is Final Fantasy VII. It's not on Game Pass, but I can actually stream the game through cloud gaming because I own it. And I think that's really cool that they're now opening that up for people who don't have Game Pass Ultimate, because that honestly, that's been one of the features, one of the reasons why I even buy Game Pass Ultimate is just to be able to, like, on the road play my Game Pass games on my Steam Deck, because that's kind of like my main portable handheld machine that I use, or on my MacBook or whatever it may be. And I think that's pretty cool that they're now opening it up to everybody, but you have to watch a 2-minute pre-roll ad before queuing. This is pretty similar to what we see with NVIDIA's NVIDIA's GeForce Now subscription, where you can watch an ad and then you play about an hour or two, I think they give you, and then you have to watch another ad and something like that. So it seems like it's going to be doing this. They said that there's going to be no mid-game ads. It's going to be one ad, you get an hour session, and then you're going to get 2 warnings, one 10-minute warning and then one 5-minute warning before you can just watch another ad and then jump back in. So it's going to be unlimited play, at least for right now, which to me makes the most sense. Obviously, it seems like a lot of this is for them to kind of help gain some good graces with the community, but also with the rising cost of hardware and globally with the AI RAM crisis and everything that's happening, this does seem like a pretty cool way where if you want to be able to play those games, or at least be able to play your digital library that you maybe left behind when you switched over to PC or you switched to PlayStation, you'll now be able to play those games through the cloud. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying with the backwards compatibility stuff, where there's a lot of guys who maybe had games during the Xbox 360 era that switched to PC, never really went back. Now they'll be able to play those games again that they once lost if you go through your Xbox catalog. So that's pretty cool. This also allows the ability for players to maybe who don't even own an Xbox console or don't even want a subscription, but they just want to experiment it and test it out. You'll be able to do that, because that is kind of the one thing I like about GeForce Now, is that it allows you to be able to really test things out and try things out. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Xbox down the road do like a day pass or a week pass, that very similar to what like NVIDIA does. It seems like they're trying to follow that model a little bit more. I think something that would be really cool, from all accounts, it seems like it's going to be using the standard cloud hardware, which is basically, I believe, Xbox Series S's. So that'd be cool eventually down the road if they'll be able to open this up to like PCs or even Series X at the minimum. That'd be great. But obviously, at the end of the day, I think this is a good thing. I think a lot of people freak out about the ad-supported aspect of it, but it's completely free, and nothing in this world's for free. So you got to expect some sort of ads at the end of the day. So the fact that they're even allowing this is pretty cool. Now, I think the moment that they add ads to paid versions, that's where it's going to really bother me. And quite frankly, I'm a little scared that it might eventually lead to that, because just like with anything, they eventually add ads. I mean, I was watching Amazon Prime the other day. It was the first time I watched it in a while. Amazon, I used to never get ads on there. It was a part of my standard Prime subscription. I go in there now and they're like, hey, you want to watch 4K and ad free? You got to pay an extra $5 a month. And I'm like, you knew it was inevitable. You knew it was coming. You had Netflix is doing the same thing, even though I think Netflix, you can watch it for free with ads. But I have no problem with ads as long as it's free. And I think this is a good way to kind of help bring in some more players into the Xbox ecosystem if they want to kind of dip their toes, or maybe they just don't want to pay for the subscription, but you want to kind of reach that fan base and kind of activate that fan base a little bit more. I think this is it's a couple of things that, and you can tell there's a play at hand that they're doing here, to kind of experimenting with different plans with Game Pass, as well as trying to get a little bit of good PR as well as experiment with other things. So I'm curious to see what this could lead to the future, but overall it's pretty interesting news coming from Xbox. Obviously, the final news point that I want to talk about today is that Halo Combat or Campaign Evolved is out. I have not yet played it. I did not pay for the premium version to do early access. Honestly, I don't like that, and that's kind of been one of my, that's something I kind of hold true. Like I'm not paying to play a game 3 days early. That's really dumb. People do it. I acknowledge it. That's good for you, buddy. For me, that's just not a thing. I think it's just kind of a waste. I'm cool with waiting 4 days for a game that I've already played, but nonetheless, all the reviews coming out about this game look really good. I'm really excited to play this, and I want to do a review on this game coming up in the next couple of weeks as I go through it and play it for the first time and kind of get my feel for this new remake. Haven't played the original Halo Campaign Evolved or Combat Evolved now since, man, probably like 2016, 2017, something like that. So this is gonna be a nice refresher. Obviously, I'm not like a super hardcore like Halo 1 fan. I mostly played Halo 3 and 2, but I have played through the campaign. I'm familiar with it, but I'm not probably going to be as nitpicky as some people who treat Halo Campaign Evolved as like, or Combat Evolved as one of their favorite games of all time, which I enjoy Combat Evolved. I just don't have necessarily that same attachment because I didn't grow up with an original Xbox when that came out. Halo started becoming a thing for me late Xbox generation and 360 era. So I don't have that necessarily same attachment, but I have gone back and played, and I'm excited to kind of see these quality of life changes from what I'm seeing, like no health packs, which to me, that's a good change. Honestly, like the sprint, I know that's kind of a controversial thing, but it feels like the conversation and the debate behind sprint when Halo games has kind of died down a little bit, and a lot of people have kind of torn towards like being okay with sprint. But overall, I'm really excited to play Halo Combat Evolved. If you guys already played it, I cannot get this right, Halo Campaign Evolved, let me know in the comments down below what you think of the game, and if there's any skulls or anything you think I should try out as I'm playing it, because like I said, I'm really excited to test it out. But yeah, let me know what you think of this news revolving around Xbox with PC backwards compatibility, as well as ad-free streaming. Let me know what you think down, and yeah, I will talk to you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.